In West Africa, a quiet but powerful alignment is taking shape between two countries that rarely made headlines together, Mali and Morocco. One is a landlocked Sahelian nation struggling with insurgency, foreign interference, and military coups. The other is a North African kingdom with deep ties to Europe, the Arab world, and centuries of imperial ambition. But today, these two very different nations are finding common ground. So what's really going on between Mali and Morocco? Is it the beginning of a strategic African alliance, or is someone playing a deeper game? Let's break it down. For centuries, Mali and Morocco have had a complicated relationship, one shaped by both shared history and historic conflict. Back in the 16th century, Morocco invaded the Songhai Empire, which ruled over much of present-day Mali. The Battle of Tondibi in 1591 ended in Moroccan victory, and the Songhai Empire collapsed. But Morocco never fully controlled the region. It sparked chaos, fragmentation, and foreign domination. Fast forward to the modern era, and both nations have faced different challenges. Mali was colonized by France and gained independence in 1960. Morocco was also colonized, first by Spain in the north and south, then by France in the center, before gaining independence in 1956. But while Mali's post-independence path led to military coups, poverty, and instability, Morocco chose a different route, embracing a monarchy, forming close ties with the West, and expanding its economic reach across Africa. So what's bringing them together now? The short answer: geopolitics, economics, and shared interests in a changing African landscape. Let's start with Mali. Since 2020, Mali has undergone 2 coups and is now governed by a military-led transitional government. They've expelled French troops, cut ties with ECOWAS, and drawn closer to other anti-imperial states like Burkina Faso and Niger. This new leadership wants African solutions, not Western military bases or IMF austerity. But Mali is isolated, it's landlocked, and it needs regional partnerships that don't come with colonial strings attached. Now look at Morocco. Morocco is trying to position itself as Africa's diplomatic hub. It rejoined the African Union in 2017 after a long absence over the Western Sahara dispute. It has embassies across the continent, invests heavily in infrastructure and banking in sub-Saharan countries, and hosts forums promoting South-South cooperation. So when Mali began pulling away from France and ECOWAS, Morocco saw an opportunity to expand influence, to play the mediator, to strengthen ties with a new generation of African leaders who reject neocolonialism. In recent months, Morocco has increased diplomatic and economic engagements with Mali. They've signed cooperation agreements in agriculture, trade, and infrastructure. Mali's transitional leaders have praised Morocco's neutrality, while Morocco emphasizes African solutions for African problems. But is this a true alliance or just political chess? Because Morocco isn't neutral on everything. Let's not forget that Morocco still occupies Western Sahara, a territory whose people, the Sahrawis, have been fighting for independence since the 1970s. And Morocco's closest ally? France. Yes, the same France that Mali and its neighbors are fighting to remove from West Africa is still a major partner of Morocco, militarily, economically, and diplomatically. So what does that mean? It means Morocco is walking a fine line, trying to build bridges with anti-colonial regimes like Mali, while still maintaining close ties to Western powers. And that raises a question: can Mali trust Morocco? Let's look at the stakes. Mali wants access to the Atlantic Ocean. Right now, it depends on ports in Senegal or Ivory Coast, 2 ECOWAS countries aligned with France. By building closer ties with Morocco, Mali could open new trade routes through Mauritania and Western Sahara, or even push for a long-term corridor to the Moroccan coast. This would be a game changer for regional independence. Meanwhile, Morocco gains soft power in West Africa, builds alliances with rising leaders, and counters Algeria, its main North African rival, who supports the Sahrawi cause and has strong ties to anti-Western movements. So yes, there's strategy here, but there's also risk. Because if Morocco is simply trying to co-opt the revolution in Mali to serve its own interests, the alliance could backfire. Pan-Africanism is not just about cooperation, it's about liberation. You can't claim to support African unity while occupying African land. You can't condemn foreign meddling in West Africa while benefiting from it in the north. If Morocco wants to be taken seriously as a Pan-African ally, it must confront its own contradictions. Still, this relationship between Mali and Morocco has potential. It shows that Africa doesn't need to rely on Paris, Brussels, or Washington for diplomacy. It shows that African countries can talk, trade, and cooperate on their own terms. But only if the terms are honest. If Morocco is genuine, if it supports sovereignty, respects Mali's revolution, and steps away from neo-colonial alignments, then this could mark a new chapter in intra-African diplomacy. But if Morocco is simply looking to replace one empire with another, it will find that the new Africa is watching and won't be fooled twice. The stakes are high, the Sahel is rising, the old alliances are breaking, and the future of Africa may depend on whether the continent chooses partnership or manipulation. So what do you think? Is Morocco a genuine ally to Mali's revolution? Or is this just another power play in a continent tired of being played? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned as we continue decoding Africa's silent battles here on Echoes of Empires.